also have a little bit of a headache, but it's also because one of my friends was also showing me this Black Ops 3 trolling, and that kind of gave me a headache, to be honest, because it was just incoherent screaming, and it's just like, it kind of stopped being funny after whatever upload was there. I don't know. It's just really weird shit, to be honest. I forget who it is. I think it's like BCC or something. I don't know. It's this dude that sounded like Griffin Gaming if he was like a troll in Call of Duty. It's just weird. It's just weird shit, honestly, but I don't know. I don't really care for content like that. I wouldn't watch on my own time, I'll just say, but because, gotta watch along the sidelines. I'm like, yeah, this is something I wouldn't watch on my own, honestly. It's not exactly what I call consumable entertainment, I guess. Whoever helps pay the bills, I guess, but it's certainly not gonna earn them a subscriber from me. Just saying. Oh my god. This is stupid. This one is like super specific. But regardless, I shall push through. Because I must. For my endearing fan. And hopefully the 67 other fans that somehow aren't subscribed or watching. Or whatever, aren't watching, whatever. It also annoys me because there's like no way to actually check who's subscribed to you unless they have their subscriber count public. Like, what the hell? Like, that's just honestly annoying. Oh, that's good. I respawned and I spawned back here. Not excellent. Oh my god, I was close. Roblox has crossplay of Xbox One, right? I know that sounds like a really stupid question, but it does have crossplay of that, right? Excuse me, sorry. I burped. Sorry. Huh, someone in the game actually gave me a pass on that. What the? Oh my god. This is like legitimately the hardest one because of the really awkward angle and stuff. This is like legitimately the hardest part of the stream so far. And the game actually gave me a pass. Oh. Yeah, I know. Oh, okay, the guy you mentioned. Wait, Yuval? No. Well, that sucks. May rest in YouTube peace. Okay, good. I'll have to check it out, I guess. Because I know one of my friends, oh, why don't you play Roblox? It's like, I have to install it first. Or something. But you can't even play it right now anyway, so it wouldn't really matter. And I have to seriously find a way to make my own outfit or something, because I don't think this is going to fly in 2023. Oh, good. Stage 1011 and 4. Or 1104. Excellent. Oh my god, dude. The game has some really weird detection, honestly. This is like the hardest thing in the game right now, I think. Oh, I'm gonna try the left one, screw it. Gamer's intuition. Like, sometimes the game just, like, puts you in a different spot, and it's just, like, it's really freaking weird detection. Like, look at that. Like, sometimes it spawns you right there and it throws me for a throw loop, and I'm just put back here. I don't know if this is supposed to be bugged or difficult. Why don't I get the bits? I don't know. I haven't really looked into that, to be honest. I also don't want to spend money on this game. That would just seem to be, like, pretty ridiculous, to be honest. I mean, I already even feel bad for spending money on RuneScape, but it was only because there was an outfit that I've been wanting for a while. And I think another one I might actually get, which I actually should have gotten instead of spending money on fucking Among Us on Xbox. I'm actually kind of mad about that. It's like, I actually wanted to, like, have an extra game to play, I guess, but Among Us on Xbox is just stupid, and I'm just like, it's like, come on now. It's like, why did the game go from that to this? Like, come on. Like, if you want to play an online game with randoms, then fine, I get it. But if you just want to play with friends, like, why does it be so freaking stupid? Whatever. It's, at least I didn't lose a lot of money, but still. I think even it's like $5 anyway, but still. It's just dumb. I mean, I know how to play the game. Like, I actually did buy the PC version on itch.io because I believe in DRM free experiences, but it's just like, I should have to go through that process on a fucking Xbox. It's just dumb. And I'm pretty sure you can play the PC version in LAN without all that account nonsense anyway. Like, it's just stupid. Like, even if I don't like playing COD, for example, I would advocate on playing literally any COD game that does not require an Activision account to play. Because I believe in that shit. You buy the game, you play as much as you want. Not this having to be connected online, have to make an account and stuff. That's just stupid to me. MMOs should really be the only exception to that since they're, you know, multiplayer at first. Or whatever. You know, it's already bad that you're paying $60 for, or, I'm sorry, $70 for Modern Warfare 2, and you have to do all this fucking hoops to play the game. Like, what the hell? The games only have good security anyway, so what's the point? Have to pay $70 for a game that's going to be glitchy and filled with hackers anyway. Yes, because that's what people want, is to play a new Call of Duty game that's going to be glitchy as fuck. And have hackers, even though the game's supposed to, like, make billions and billions served like McDonald's, and yet they can't have good anti-cheat. Like, what the hell? Their servers are fucking garbage too. Like, if I play I think if I play Warzone on PC or whatever, if the game disconnects at all, I have to reset the whole fucking game. It sucks. And it's just obnoxious. Like, I don't even like playing on PC for that reason, but it's whatever. It's just dumb. So I even like, it boots you to the main menu. No, it says you have to restart the whole fucking game, and it takes like 6 hours to get it working again. Okay, not really, but still, it's just obnoxious. It's not like an error has occurred, returns to the title menu. No, an error occurred, you must close the game and then restart the whole game. Like, what the fuck? This is quality control for people who play a game series that's super well liked. Jesus Christ. I actually had it that time, but the game screwed me over. It's like, what the hell? But then if I were to complain about that, oh, I'm just a mindless Call of Duty hater. They gotta do it to make money. Yeah, thanks for using the most obvious, what the fuck is it? The most meta argument of all time. Yeah, they have to do it for money. Yeah, well, no shit to do it for money. But do you honestly want to pay product for a game that doesn't even work? Like, come on. This isn't the fucking 1980s where people could, like, where you had to rent games to get the most out of them, since game prices back then were fucking ridiculous. It seems like there's at least more Rise of the Robots than something like... I don't know. But basically, if you don't know, Rise of the Robots was supposed to be the most epic fighting game ever made, and it was so heavily advertised, and yet it was like one of the worst games ever, and yet it was ported on nearly damn everything. It's like if Street Fighter 2 was so heavily advertised, and yet it was shit. It's fucking crazy. That game has a really shitty history, and yet the sequel is actually somehow better. Slightly better by comparison, but not by much. And of course the DOS version is the best, since it actually has animated backgrounds, decent load times, and music doesn't sound like shit, but whatever. Like, it's just garbage. Like, I'm even making a rant about something like Rumblefish too, because that game is so fucking overpriced for what year it came out originally, and then it got ported on everything, and yet it's so fucking lacking in content. But yet, it has rollback, so who cares, guys? Because that's what people really want in fighting games is rollback. And wow, look at that. The game got negative reviews on Steam because it's fucking shitty. I don't think rollback's gonna save that game, guys. Sorry. Remember how everyone was shitting on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, that fighting game that I played in the stream one time? I might actually play this after this, actually, because I need to play it some more. You know, people are like, oh, this game sucks. There's no rollback netcode. You can do a lot of things in there. Rumblefish 2, nope. You can't even do anything. The game's a fucking shitty port from a game that came out, like, almost a decade ago. It's fucking terrible, dude. And yet people want to say that JoJo is a bad game because it has a fucking rollback netcode, and yet a game like Rumblefish 2 with decent fighting mechanics with very few modes is somehow better because it has it actually has rollback netcode, but when you look at the reviews on Steam, people are fucking hating it. It's fucking stupid. Look, I get that JoJo game isn't the most balanced, but come on. You actually have a decent JoJo fighting game based on a series that could use a good fighting game, and yet people don't like it because it has enough rollback netcode in the game that's not even balanced to begin with. And yet you do get a fighting game that's actually balanced, I think, and yet people hate it because it's lacking in content. How much content's in that JoJo game? Case closed. It's just fucking dumb, dude. It's like, yes, a lot of games should have good online play, but it's not the end of the world if the online isn't perfect. There should always be something for people to do when they're playing offline so they're not totally bored or having to wait for people to fucking have an active player base or something. It's like, I do want to play Doom 2016's multiplayer, but if people aren't playing it, I can't get any use out of it, because you can't level up in private matches, the bots suck, and there is no way to really play the game unless you're playing with other people, and that is really shitty design. It's like the only good thing about the fucking game, even if it is essentially just a mixture of Quake and COD in terms of design, but whatever. Oh my god, dude, how many fucking rows are there? There's like... Yeah, there's like 3 rows and I fucking messed up. What the fuck? So they're gonna make 6 perfect jumps. Like, Jesus, dude. It's gonna be fucking horrible. I'm definitely playing something else after this, because this is fucking annoying now. I'll try the bottom row, I guess. Like, I think the game's supposed to make you spawn if you touch the red stuff, but no matter how I jump it, I always get fucked. Because the fucking detection is so shitty on this one platform, and yet it's just extremely awkward. Like, what the hell? This could be a highlight in itself, actually. Like, I legit don't know what I'm doing wrong besides, oh, you touched the red stuff. Well, yeah, no shit, I touched the red stuff, but it's so fucking awkward. Like, I honestly do not think this part of this puzzle is, like, coded correctly. It's just bullshit. Yeah, I get the intention that it's slanted, but it's like, I should not be respawning in place if I happen to touch the if I happen to touch the ankle of the fucking platform. It's stupid. And I quote in my Super Metroid guide, it's fucking retarded that Samus can slow down if her fucking pinky so much as touches the fucking water in the game without the gravity suit. It's fucking stupid. Because the game works in such a way that if you're in water without that thing, you're moving slow as fuck. But there are parts of the game where you could be like a pixel in the water and you move slow as shit. That is retarded. That should not be a thing, but whatever. So the only real criticisms I have with the game, to be honest. It's like, oh, you touch your pinky in the water, you're fucking moving slow as shit. What the fuck? Also, speaking of water, how fucking sad is it that Call of Duty Black Ops 3 has underwater combat and yet Doom Eternal doesn't fucking have it? But sure, Doom Eternal is the best game of all time, right? Okay. Honestly, more shooters should have underwater combat. I kind of appreciated Black Ops 3 for having segments like that, especially in the campaign. I can actually play in co-op as well. People don't seem to care though because the Call of Duty campaigns are fucking terrible, dude. Okay, well, I know they're not always the greatest, but Black Ops 3 should definitely be given the most credit for actually going all out of it. But people are just stubborn because, you know, they rather play the multiplayer or the zombies or whatever is popular these days, but whatever. The Black Ops 3 campaign is probably the best set for a Call of Duty game that's ever been made, at least in terms of gameplay. Sorry, I don't know about that one, but still. There's everything that people could want. You can play it in co-op, you have a level-up system that isn't particularly broken, you can use a custom loadout, you're actually rewarded for playing the game, and all that fun stuff. But like I said, it's whatever. It even has 2-player split screen for co-op and 4-player split screen in multiplayer and zombies. Yeah, the frame rate takes a dip, but honestly, a lot of games do that, so whatever. And I'm pretty sure you can play in all the levels anyway, including the best level, Nuketown. And you can use bots too, which makes it even better. Okay, I don't mean to pull it under the mayo, because he actually does that a lot with Doom Eternal, except he does shit like that with games like Devil May Cry 3 and, Bayonetta, no, sorry, Devil May Cry 3 and, what was it? I know he compared Celeste to Doom Eternal, and I think he even compared the new God of War to Doom Eternal, but I'm only comparing one aspect from a game to another game. I'm not comparing the entire game or whatever. It's like, I know both Black Ops 3 and Doom Eternal are first-person shooters. Yes, I know they play differently, but my point is that Black Ops 3 at least has actual underwater gunplay, whereas in Doom Eternal, they use the swimming segments for puzzles and not even actual gun combat, despite not only Quake actually having underwater gameplay, as well as Duke Nukem 3D, but it's just really shitty downtime in a game that's considered the greatest shooter of all time. Like, I'm trying not to... I honestly don't like to pull it under the mayo where he compares something like Devil May Cry 3 to Doom Eternal or something like that, because even I think that's ridiculous, but I'm only comparing a certain aspect to a game that is in another game, not the entirety of the game. Like, I don't hate this game because it doesn't play like RuneScape. That'd just be ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous. But it's like, I can see the appreciation for Black Ops 3 adding in gunplay underwater, but a game like Doom Eternal not even having it despite the gunplay being supposedly good, it's like, what the fuck? The game is clearly creative enough, why not have some enemies that you fight underwater or something? I don't know. It's just fucking stupid. And yeah, I know it's not the big part of the game, but still, it's like, you can probably use the guns in Doom Eternal underwater if you wanted to. That's just my point. It's like, I don't hate games because it's not like another game. That's just ridiculous. I can enjoy games like Crysis, Far Cry, whatever on their own. Or Halo, even though I don't really like the RNG checkpoint reloading thing, but whatever. You know, it's I actually remember in Modern Warfare 2, actually, in the Spec Ops mission where you're going through the segment Call of Duty 4, if you actually go prone in the water, you actually cannot go prone in water, and that just legit makes no sense. It's like water is the ultimate prone cock block, and it's fucking stupid. But my point is that for a game like Doom Eternal to be considered one of the greatest shooters of all time, it does not have underwater combat, and yet Black Ops 3 actually has underwater combat, even in the multiplayer. So I'm not comparing the entirety of the game, just that one aspect of the game. Because I think it's ridiculous that a game like Doom Eternal, a game that everyone says the gunplay is so great, doesn't even have fucking underwater combat, and yet the few times you do go underwater, it's just for a shitty puzzle or two. It's really fucking stupid. It could have gave the game more variety, in my opinion, but whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure even Metroid Prime has fucking underwater combat, but I guess I'm not allowed to shit on Metroid Prime either, because it's not a first-person shooter. Dude, I've seen someone who actually gave me shit for criticizing Metroid Prime or something like that, and they argued that it's not a first-person shooter or something, or that there's something stupid about Metroid Prime. It really pissed me off. Like, I could go on a tangent about that, actually. They said something really fucking stupid and condescending to me. Like I don't know anything about fucking Metroid Prime. Yes, I know Doom does... Well, Doom Eternal does take place on Earth, but there's a couple of levels where you swim in underwater or something, and even though Doomslayer can, like, use a bunch of weapons on land, he cannot use anything underwater, even though legitimately older id Software games that are actually made by id Software have done gun combat before. And if they're worried about something like the Thunder Gun being a thing, then, well, that can actually cause you to discharge. You know, basically, you know, shooting electricity underwater, it's an instant kill. Obviously. There's even an achievement in the Unity Quake game, I guess. Although it's actually easy to do if you play one of the multiplayer levels that has the invincibility power up with the Thunder Gun and water all conveniently placed. It's actually really easy. But it's also a science fiction game. And not to mention, even in Super Metroid, again, I'm not trying to compare games just for the sake of it, but I'm just trying to compare something because of, you know, aspects and stuff. There is a power-up in the game called a grapple beam, and even though it provides electricity, it does not cause the water to shock. But, I don't know. It's I know Duke Nukem also has underwater combat, too. Like, you have shotguns, machine guns, so I really want to see how Doom Eternal could not have underwater combat, and, well, whatever. But that's just my point. A game with great combat should be able to have more than just combat arenas ad nauseum, which is why I can't stand the fucking game. It's like, I kind of don't like Bayonetta for that reason, but I could see Bayonetta being a good game. I just do not like the hyper-linear gameplay that's in a fucking shooter game. It's like, if it's a beat-em-up, sure, whatever, but first-person shooters are best when you actually can fucking explore since you're in first person. But whatever. If it has to be something linear like Call of Duty, at least make the game replayable. Or something. You know, at least have alternate options for combat when you want to mix it up or whatever. That's just all I ask. And it also doesn't help that Doom was known for having some of the greatest level design, and yet they degraded to like Devil May Cry levels, and it fucking pisses me off. And it's not a detriment to Devil May Cry, but it's like Devil May Cry does it best when it's being Devil May Cry. I don't want Doom to be Devil May Cry or Ultra Kill, but whatever. But again, that's just how I see it. I don't like games that are like Devil May Cry clones, but in first person. That shit just pisses me off. Even something like the original Shadow Warrior reboot was actually decent, and that came out long before Modern Doom ruined everything. Dude, I swear, this shit is like legit bugged. I tried one way and it's just what the fuck. But I don't know. That's just the way that I see it. If Doom Eternal wants to be this great combat game, it could also do some underwater combat as well. But that's just my point. I do not believe Doom 2016 had underwater combat, so I can't really compare it to that. I know Black Ops 3, I think, came out in 2016. I think. Or whatever, I don't know. It's, I don't know. I don't really care, but my point is that if a game like Black Ops 3 can have underwater combat and not completely suck, and I think Doom Eternal, a game that is more liked, should have underwater combat. That's just my opinion on it. Like, they use it for really shitty puzzles, and even though it's brief, it's fucking stupid. It's really fucking stupid. It's just really fucking stupid that a game like Doom Eternal does not have decent, you know, let alone any fucking underwater combat, when other shooters have done it better, and, you know, it actually worked. Yes, timing, I know, but I'm just gonna try to focus on going through the corners of the blue shit, I guess. That's the only thing I can, like, really think of, honestly. And even then, it's just kind of bugged, in my opinion. I also don't understand why the game, like, does that when it, like, respawns me back in place. That's what really pissed me off the most. It's like, I think I'm gonna respawn, but instead it just puts me back in place and I just get thrown for a loop, and I'm like, fuck. Like, what the hell? You know what? Screw it, I'm cheating. I'm gonna fucking use auto jump. I don't care at this point. At least you don't hear the oof sound. That actually will be kind of annoying. I can smell the victory. Of course. I can smell defeat. Yeah, this is going to get its own stream highlight, to be honest. I'll probably make like a two-parter, I guess. But legit, it's just... I do believe in thing having standards for a company like id Software. It's like... It's not me mindlessly criticizing the games, it's just... You know, you think a company like id Software, under the wing of people who aren't even part of id Software, would at least respect the legacy of a company who used to make some of the greatest shooters of all time. Like, come on. How is that a mindless hater? Like, I get that there's people like Young Defiant, but then you have people who, like, legitimately criticize the game and are put under the same umbrella as a troll who hates the game because they're bad. And that's really unhealthy behavior, to be honest. It's like, I get if people are, like, trolling about a game, but it's like, if you have people who are trying to make legitimate criticisms and you just label them as a mindless hater, you just shouldn't be on the internet, period, because there's a lot of people who are like that. And it pisses me off that you have people who, like, legitimately try to criticize the game, even if you don't agree with all the points, but I'm at least trying to make a point, and yet when someone probably going to watch this, like, oh, he's just a mindless Doom Eternal hater, even though I have perfectly good reasons as to why I don't fucking like the game, and as to why the lack of underwater combat is fucking retarded. And I'll probably make the same comment that you did, but do it in such a condescending tone, and I'll like act like they're the greatest person of all time. Shit pisses me off. It's like, you don't have to agree, but at least respect my opinions, dude. Like, shit. And it's all over video games, too, which is funny. It's like, you could be mad at someone over political opinions or something like, the hot topic I mentioned the other day, but don't get fucking your panties in a knot because I don't like a game or a game's certain feature. Like, what's wrong with you, honestly? Like, I've legit lost friendships because I didn't like Dark Souls. Like, that just should tell you how fucking retarded people are. It's like, oh, I don't like Dark Souls. Oh, well, fuck you. We're never friends again. It's not like I said something about abortion or anything. No, it's just, oh, I don't like Dark Souls. And this was like this was like when I was first playing the game. But whatever. And I still don't like it. I mean, there's some things I like about it, but that doesn't mean I can't be allowed to criticize it. Because you have people like, oh, you can't criticize this game because you didn't play it at all. But then you have people who say, oh, well, you can't criticize this game or say you don't like it because you put in 60,000 hours. It's like, well, what the fuck do you want then? It's like, do you want people to play your game or do you not want people to play your game? It's like, what the fuck? It really is a damned if you do, damned if you don't, but it should not be over fucking video games, honestly. So if you don't like a certain game, that's fine. I mean, I might not agree with it, but if it's a reasonable criticism, you know, I'll fucking live. It's like if you don't like Dark Souls because you find it to be difficult, okay, fine. But if you say, oh, I don't like Dark Souls because you can take a sip of Estus when your health is low, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck games have you played? Like, seriously. That's just weird to me, but whatever. And I'm also going to go doubly hard on you if you criticize other people for not liking the game, but you make shitty criticisms yourself. But I think I already talked about that, so I'm just going to move on. I will give Doom Eternal this, though. It does prove that single-player games can be decent, especially in first-person format. I just cannot stand Devil May Cry-inspired level design for shooter games. It just puts me in such a fucking sour mood that something like Ultra Kill is overwhelmingly positive, and yet its gameplay is basically Devil May Cry. I'd rather just fucking play Devil May Cry, to be honest. If I want to play a shooter game, I like to explore and shit. Or whatever. That's just how I feel, honestly. Or if it's going to be a linear game, at least make it interesting, like how GoldenEye and Perfect Dark did or whatever, where when you played on harder difficulties, you had more shit to do, so the levels actually opened up, or even Time Splitters, but whatever, that's just how I feel. Like, it doesn't have to be fucking groundbreaking or be like the most genre-defining thing ever, but at least make the fucking level design decent, dude. Or at least I'll make it a fucking repetitive ass game either. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of enemies, but it all kind of feels the same after an hour. So you've pretty much already seen everything the game has to throw at you, and yet even something like, you know, again, I just want to make it very clear. I'm not trying to compare a game to another game of a different genre. I am only comparing a game's specific feature, okay? I want to make it very clear. I'm not trying to compare games and saying that one is better because of it. But I'm just trying to make a point about a specific game having more variety in it, okay? Something like Scott Pilgrim, for example. Again, you know, people, oh, you're pulling under the mayo, but I'm only comparing a very specific part of it. A very specific part of it. You know, call me a hypocrite, whatever, but something like Scott Pilgrim, where, yeah, the game's a beat-em-up, and a lot of beat-em-ups tend to be very repetitive, but it is one of the few games in that genre where every level you're always fighting something new, and it's not just the same beefy enemy or whatever. But, whatever. The game does have its problems, too, but it's still a good time, honestly. The final level particular is pretty fucking annoying, but at least you fight something new, so I'll excuse it, but it can drag on a little bit. But yeah, that's my whole point with it, really. It's, like, I would just think that something that is made by id Software and called Doom would at least have some fucking higher quality compared to, like, the other mundane shit at the fucking dollar store, but that's about it. The only thing I really give it is that it's a successful first-person shooter in terms of sales and playability, I guess, but it really could have done a lot of things much better, in my opinion, but whatever. Call me a mindless Doom hater, fuck you. Go suck Mayo's dick or whatever. I really don't give a fuck. You know, you want to say that he's not a fanboy, that he's honest? Well, at least I could enjoy shooters that are actually, you know, not exactly like Time Splitters or whatever. You know, Crysis, I still think holds up pretty well. You know, in that game, you exchange different attachments, so if you don't want to use an ACOG or iron sight or red sight, whatever, you can change on the fly. I think that's fucking cool as hell. Even though Crysis is essentially a COD skeleton, you can still do stealth or use the armor abilities and soak up bullets and stuff. I think that's fucking cool as hell. And the way that you grab enemies, yeah, you're not like ripping and tearing like in Doom, but I think it's pretty damn satisfying to be able to sneak up on an enemy, choke them, and then throw them like a ragdoll. I think it's fucking awesome. You essentially get a visor that acts like, what is it, some sort of like super advanced mark or whatever, like in other shooters. I mean, yeah, it's a COD clone at the end of the day, but it does mix things up, and I actually do enjoy it. I just wish that Crysis 2 wasn't so long, and that Crysis 3 wasn't so fucking short. Because that's kind of the problem. Crysis 2 is kind of too long, whereas Crysis 3 is so fucking short, and yet that game pretty much refined a lot of things. It's kind of a sin, to be honest, but whatever. I'm not going to hate Crysis because they play like fucking Time Splitters or Far Cry. I can enjoy those on their own. They have problems. It doesn't mean that because they don't have this one thing that's terrible as a whole. But whatever. Ugh. Oh, good. One person got the badge. I swear, I gotta stop fucking going on these tangents, because I think I'm either making people upset or, like, they just don't care what I have to say. I don't know. Well, I'm sorry if I'm passionate about a thing that I like, but whatever. You know, it's, if there's things in the game that annoy me, I'll fucking bitch about it, because it shouldn't be there, period. You know, it's, I don't know, it's, if there's something in the game that I don't like, I'm gonna bitch about it. I'm sorry. You know, it's, you know, it shouldn't be given this fucking pat on the back or that it's okay. You know, if it annoys me, it annoys me. And if it annoys me more, I'm gonna fucking bitch about it. You know, and maybe if it doesn't annoy me as much, you know, it might be a nitpick, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna fucking give a game a pass. And if you don't agree with it, then do your own video on it. You know, fucking put yourself in your fucking hug box. I almost said ego chamber. Or echo chamber, whatever. Like, I could even rant about, like, Classic Doom on how much levels that are made where you can't, like, teleport out of bottomless pits that can hurt you, because there are certain levels in both Doom and Doom 2 where you can't, like, you know, because you can't jump in those games, usually the level designers, they would sometimes put, like, a little thing we can, like, go up a stair or, you know, a teleporter where you can teleport out, because, you know, like I say, you can't jump in those games. If you're playing a source port where you can jump and move up and down, I'm sorry, but you're not playing Doom the right way. I'm sorry. You're not playing the game as intended. Like, if you're going to play Doom in modern times, at least fucking play it without looking up or down or jumping or whatever. You know, I get that it makes the game more playable, but the game was not designed to have you jump and fucking have mouse look. That's just not how Doom was meant to be played. I'm sorry. You know, it's you can play it perfectly without it too, but whatever. Unless there's like a WAD that actually is meant for that, then fine. But if you're playing like the vanilla Doom and you're like using mouse look and you're jumping and stuff, then I'm sorry, you're not playing Doom. You're not playing Doom. I'm sorry. You know, you're playing Quake, but you're not playing Doom. You know, the game was clearly not designed for that. And kind of breaking the game's structure like that. I guess Wolfenstein isn't too bad since it's all a maze or whatever, so I guess I could somewhat excuse it. But a game like Doom where it has verticality and stuff, you're just not playing it correctly if you're using mouse look and jumping and on the vanilla WADs anyway. I'm sorry, you're not playing Doom. But before I went on to that about that stupid gatekeeping tangent, there were certain levels in Doom 1 and Doom 2 where you can't, if they did not put an option for you to teleport, you're just kind of fucked. But because the game has a thing called quick saving and quick loading, you could essentially load your game if you happen to get stuck. Now, if you don't, because the vanilla versions anyway don't actually quick save, if you don't save after each level, you're just kind of fucked. But because you can quick save, I suppose you can negate this. But that kind of thing is annoying, but it's not game breaking or something that needs to have me rant about it for like a half an hour like with other things in the past. I can still criticize the game for that, but the quick saving and quick loading pretty much negate that since it's designed with that in mind. And even the levels are actually made with pistol starts in mind. It's just the way the Doom progresses, where you keep everything. It's very apparent when you see the developers mention about the final level of the original Doom, where you could just shoot the Spider Mastermind with the BFG, but if you actually play it via the level select with Doom 95, you can see the difference between night and day. But people don't really care about that, to be honest, because they just play the games and, well, that's it. I guess the Spider Mastermind fight in Doom 2016 was kind of interesting, but that game barely had any boss fights at all. There was like the not Cyber Demon, the two fucking pointless Phobos / Huitzel clones, and then this Spider Mastermind. It's really fucking stupid. I also gotta love people who are like, oh, you can't shit on the game's graphics because it's supposed to be new, but yet the Cyber Demon looks nothing like the Cyber Demon. I fucking hate the art direction that they took with Doom 2016. It just looks like a fucking mess. It's like none of the fucking characters look like how they should, and yet when they do it in Doom Eternal, it's so fucking pandering to fans because it tries so hard to please people like me. Well, fuck you, Hugo. You're not having it. Fucking make a better game next time. Thanks. I guess I'll admit me shitting on a fan's artist was kind of me being an asshole, but, you know, it's not like Twitter's done a lot worse, to be honest. You know, I didn't advocate someone to, you know, do the nasty because, you know, they drew the picture. I was like, wow, they actually used this lame artwork. Wow. It's fucking stupid, dude. And what's funny is that I actually remember actually really liking, I think it's a fan-made artwork of Rick and Morty, but using the original Doom art. It's like, wow, this is actually like extremely accurate to the original source material. It's just that it's based on Rick and Morty, and it kind of sucks since I heard that show was kind of obnoxious. And speaking of obnoxious, this puzzle really is obnoxious. But I don't know. It's, you know, I do enjoy a lot of the games that I play, but I can also criticize them because, you know, I love it so much and I want it to be better. Like with Saints Row 4. I actually really like Saints Row 4. And Saints Row the Third. You know, I think they're both really enjoyable games, and yeah, the writing in them is kind of shitty, but whatever. You know, it's whatever, you know, but I don't really think people fucking care about that shit, but whatever, you know, as on their own, they're okay. You know, something about them that I can just, like, enjoy. Even that stream I did the other day, where I was not bored once. You know, I was having fun playing it, though. I kind of wish I did that level up glitch on there instead of doing it the way that I did, because I forgot that it was a thing. I didn't know if it was patched or not, so whatever. But, you know, I can enjoy playing the Saints Row games. You know, Saints Row the Third and Saints Row 4 anyway. You know, they're just, you know, decent sandbox third-person shooters that aren't bloated in terms of size. I think there's plenty enough to do in the game that isn't, like, ridiculous. And the only thing I can really say about Saints Row 4 that fucking sucks is the fucking... I fucking made it. Are the fucking wardens, because they just piss me off. It's like... if you're to go on a fucking rampage in GTA, but instead of fighting the military, you fight a boss in a game that you fucking hate, and you have to do this every fucking time. Like, if I were to play the PC version of Saints Row 4, I'm finding a mod that disables the wardens because they just fucking piss me off. It almost kills the game for me, but they're only kind of a bitch when you fight them in the early game, since in the later game, you do get abilities that make them easy to fight, but it doesn't mean they're not fun to fight, because they just suck. Fucking Christ, dude. How long was that? That was like the most annoying puzzle ever, I swear. I think I probably made a couple people pissed with that, but whatever.